Alright, let's start to see now how we can work out multi-digit division. Suppose for a moment that I wanted to compute 8,271 divided by 7. My first step would be to write this inside what's called a division bracket. And my second step is to mark in my place values, because they're going to be pretty important. Now, if I have 8,271 things, I want to know how many groups of 7 I can make. And I frankly have no idea off the top of my head. So what I'm going to do is, I'm going to try a guess. It looks like I can probably make at least 1,000 groups. I'm going to write that down over here. If I make 1,000 groups of 7 things each, how many things do I use up? 7,000 things. So this number over here is how many groups, and this number here is how many of my things do I use up. And now I'm going to take the things I started with and subtract the things that I've used up, and I'll be left with how many are left. So I've made 1,000 groups, and now I have 1,271 things left. And I don't know how many groups of 7 I can make out of these, but it looks like it's going to be certainly at least 100. So I'm going to write down, I'm going to make another 100 groups. If I make 100 groups of 7 each, that's 700 things. I subtract. 1 minus 0 is 1. 7 minus 0 is 7. Borrow here. 12 minus 7 is 5. Alright. Now I only have 571 things left. I'm going to guess that maybe I could make 50 groups of 7. What's 50 times 7? Well, it's 5 times 7, which is 35, with a 0 on the end. So it's 350. Subtract 1, 2, 2. I think I could still maybe make another 30 groups of 7. What's 30 groups of 7? Well, it's 3 times 7, which is 21, with a 0 on the end. Subtract again. And now I see I only have 11 things left. Oh, but now 11, that's smaller than 7 times 10, right? That's smaller than 70. So I can divide by 7 right here in the table. And I see that 7 is the biggest thing in the 7 row that's smaller than 11. I can make one more group of 7 using up 7 things, and I'll have 4 things left over. To figure out then what the quotient is, I just add these up. 1,000 plus 100 plus 50 plus 30 plus 1. 1, 8, 1, 1. And what was left over was 4. I get 8,271 divided by 7 is 1,811 with 4 things left over. So notice what I did here. I just took wild guesses at how many groups I was going to get. I'm going to show you another example. I'm going to show you one where I guessed wrong. Suppose I want to take 592 divided by 8. Again, I'm going to write it out in this way. And now I'm going to make a guess. Let's say I guess that 8 goes into 592 100 times. So 8 times 100, that's 800. Oh, I can't subtract 800 from 592, right? 100 was too big. What do? I just cross it off and try something smaller. So let's try, I don't know, 70. 70 times 8, that's 7 times 8 with a 0 on the end. 7 times 8 is 56. So this is 560. Ah, that's a little bit better, isn't it? 2 minus 0 is 2. 9 minus 6 is 3. All right. And now, 32 is less than 80, so now I can go to the table. So looking in the 8 row, I actually find 32, right? 4 groups of 8 uses up 32 things. So there's nothing left over. Our quotient is 74. And if we want to report it, just so we know we haven't forgotten, the remainder is 0. So this method will work. It will get us to a quotient. But it's not very efficient. What we'd really like to do is make the most efficient guesses possible. And that's what we're going to talk about in the next video.